Chapter 9. I can't move. Seems as if the sky is swirling above me. Tree branches going every which way. Ma's face looks different from me down in the ground. Shiloh, of course, goes right over to her tail wagging. But all the steam's gone out of me. How long have you had this dog up here? She asked. Not a trace of a smile on her face. I sit up real slow and swallow. About a week, I guess. You've had Judd's dog up here a week, and you told him you didn't know where it was? I didn't say I didn't know. He asked had I seen him, and I hadn't seen him in our yard. That much was true. Ma came around to the trunk of the pine tree, unfastened the wire. I was holding the fastening up close, and let herself in. She crouches down on the soft pine needles, and Shiloh starts leaping up on her with his front paws, licking at her face. I can't tell first how she feels about him. The way she leans back, away from his dripping tongue, then I see her hand reach out with its short, smooth fingers to stroke him. So we've got ourselves a secret, she says, at last. And when I hear her say, I feel some better. Not a lot, but some. How come you followed me up here tonight? I wanted to know. Now I can tell for sure her eyes are smiling, but her lips are still set. Well, I had my suspicions before, but it was the squash that did it. The squash? Marty, I've never knew you to eat more'n a couple of bites of squash in your life. And when you put away a spoonful of that to eat later, I knew for sure it wasn't for you doing the eating. And then, the way you've been sneaking up off here every night. She stops stroking Shiloh and turns to me. I wish you'd have told me. Well, I figured you'd make me give him back. Well, the dog don't belong to you. Mine more than Judd's, I say hotly. He only paid money for him. I'm the one who loves him. That doesn't make him yours. Not in the eyes of the law, does it? Well, what kind of law is it, Ma, that lets a man mistreat his dog? Ma just sighs and starts stroking Shiloh's head. Shiloh wiggles a few inches closer to her on his belly, rests his nose against her thigh, tail going wick-whack, wick-whack, wick-whack. Finally, Ma says, Your dad doesn't know about him? I shake my head, more silence. Then she says, I've never kept a secret from your dad in the 14 years I've been married to him. You ain't gonna tell him? Marty, I've got to. If he ever finds out about this dog and knows that I knew but didn't tell him, how could he trust me? If I keep this one secret from him, he'll think that maybe there's more. He'll make me give him back to Judd, Ma. I could hear my voice shaking now. You know he will. Well, what else can we do? I feel hot tears in my eyes now. I try to keep them from spilling out, and I turn my head till they go away. Judd Travers ever comes up here to get his dog, will have to fight me to get it, Marty. Listen, Ma, just for one night, promise me you won't tell Dad so I can figure out something. Can tell she's been thinking on it. You aren't fixing to run away with this dog, are you? Marty, don't ever run away from a problem. I don't answer because that very thing just crossed my mind. I can't promise not to tell your dad tonight if you can't promise me not to run off. I won't run off, I say. Then I won't tell him tonight. Or in the morning either, I add. I gotta have at least one day to think. Don't know what good it will do, though. I've already thought till my brains are dry. Ma puts both hands now and scratches behind Shiloh's ears. He licks her all the way up and down her arms. His name's Shiloh, I tell her, pleased. After a while, Ma gets up. You coming back to the house now? In a bit, I answer. It's hard to say how I feel after she leaves. Glad, in a way, that somebody knows, that I don't have to carry on this whole secret in my head alone, but more scared than glad. Have me just one day to think of what to do, and not any closer to an answer than I'd been before. I spent all night my can money on stuff to feed Shiloh. Only money I have now to my name is a nickel that I found out by the road. Judd won't sell me Shiloh spit for a nickel. I thought about how to give him to somebody else who not and tell them whose dog it is, then tell Ma that Shiloh had run off. But then there'd be 2 more lies to add to the pack. Word of it would get out somehow or another. Judd would see David Howard or Mike Wells walking with his dog, and then the war would really start. And all I can think of is to take Shiloh down to Friendly the next day, draw me up a big sign that says, "Free, World's Best Dog," or something, and hold it up along the road of Sistersville, hoping that some stranger driving along will get a warm spot in his heart for Shiloh and stop his car and take him home. And I won't ask him where home is, neither, so that Ma asks me where the dog is, I can be honest, tell her I don't know. When I get back to the house, Dad's just washing up at the pump, using the grease to get all the oil off his arms. He's yelling at Darlin and Becky, who are playing in the doorway screen, wide open, letting in the moths. I go inside. Ma's putting the dishes away in the kitchen, lifting them out of the drain rack, stacking the plates on the shelf. She's got a radio on and it's humming along with the country's music song. "It's you I want to come home to. It's you I bake my bread for. It's you to bake my bread. It's you to light my fire. It's you to share my bed." She sort of blushes when she sees me there in the refrigerator listening to her sing. I know I'm not going to sleep much that night. I sit on the couch staring at the TV, but not really watching, while Ma gives Becky her bath, while I wait for Darlin to get out of the bathroom so I can take my own bath. Don't know if I soaped up or not. Don't even know if I washed my feet. I get back into the living room and Ma has my bed made up there on the sofa, and the house gets dark and the doors close. And then just as the night sounds comes outside. No, there's a piece of cardboard somewhere out in the shed that I can print on. There won't be any trouble getting that Shiloh to a Friendly either. I'll put that rope on his collar, and he'll follow me all along. Good as anything. He won't take the main road, though in case Judd is out in his truck. Take every back road I can find, and then I'll plant myself on the road in Sistersville, holding that sign, Shiloh waiting beside me, wondering what it is we're going to do next. What am I fixing to do anyways? Give him the first car that stops? I don't even know the person driving. Might as well be I'll give Shiloh to somebody who'll treat him worse than Judd Travers. Now Shiloh's come to trust me here, and I'm getting ready to send him off again. I feel like there's a tank truck sitting on my chest. I can't hardly breathe. Got one day to decide what to do with Shiloh, and nothing I can think of seems right. I hear Shiloh making noise up on that far hill in his pen, but not now. "Shiloh," I whisper. "You've been good as gold all this time. Don't start now." Can it be he knows what I'm fixing to do? Then I hear a yelp, and a loud yelp, then a snarl and a growl, and suddenly the air is filled with yelps, and it's the worst kind of noise you can think of, that a dog being hurt. So I leapt out of bed, thrust my feet in my sneakers, and with shoelaces flying, I'm racing through the kitchen, but through the back door. A light comes on, and I can hear Dad's voice saying, "Get a flashlight," but I'm already out on the back porch, then running up the hill. There are footsteps behind me. Dad's gaining on me. I can hear Shiloh howl like he's been torn in two. My breath comes shorter and shorter, trying to get there in time. By the time I reach the pen, Dad's caught up with me, and he's got the flashlight turned towards the noise. The beam searches in the pine tree and the fence in the lean-to, and then I see this big German shepherd, mean as nails, hunched over Shiloh, there on the ground. The shepherd's got blood on his mouth and jaws, and as Dad takes another step forward, it leaps over the fence, same way it got in, and takes off through the woods. I fasten the wire next to the pine tree legs, like rubber, hardly holding me up. I kneel down, and Shiloh, he's got blood on his side, his ear, a big open gash on one leg, and he don't move, not an inch. I bend over, my forehead against him, my hand on his head. He's dead. I know it. I'm screaming inside, and then I feel his body sort of shiver, and his mouth moving just a little, like he's trying to let his tongue out, lick my hand, and I'm bent over there, in a beam of Dad's flashlight, bawling, and I don't even care.